So, hello everyone. Welcome back again to even more patch notes. So, a little preface, and this might be a little long, I don't know. But if it is, I apologize, you can skip ahead. I won't put a timestamp, I'm too lazy. But anyway, let me lower this a tad bit. Fuck, I think I increased it. Okay, and it's still hearable, nice. So, I just got done with the first day of my senior year of college, and I've got to say, my god, am I over fucking worked already. I have so much shit to do in this first week, and I know I complain a lot, and a lot of what I say is bullshit, but literally this first week is so much work. It's actually crazy how much work I have to do. After this first week, though, once I get done with a lot of this bullshit, it should be pretty easy sailing after this first week for a while. Excuse me. For a while, it should be pretty easy sailing after this week. But my god, literally after this, I can't even play any games today. I'm so busy. I've been in school for over 10 hours without eating all day. I got to the park, coming home at like 9:30. I ran a little bit. I came home, ate dinner. While I was eating dinner, I spent the last 2 hours doing more homework and reading. My fucking god. And I didn't even make a dent in it, realistically. But this whole week is just so busy. So after this patch notes, I'm just going to literally get off the computer, drop on my bed, sleep for 7 hours, hopefully, or maybe 6.5, and then get up and go to school and repeat the process tomorrow. And tomorrow I still haven't seen 2 of my classes. So whatever work I have now, I'm going to get more. So it's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's my little spiel for the beginning. Anyway, sorry you guys had to hear that. Again, I must vent my daily troubles. And if you don't see League videos, which again, who watches me, but if you don't see League videos, I'm really busy. But this makes the last year worth it. I'm going to work hard in this last year and then just relax. Because I'll be done with fucking college. Anyway. Hey buff herders, we're still holding off on going too crazy with balance until after 9.19, the patch that Worlds is played on. So basically we're not going to see anything significant until then. Which actually I kind of question because I think we're seeing the Kale changes. Or maybe not yet actually, I don't know. Or the Asol changes, or the Wukong changes, or the Teemo changes. If that stuff waits till fucking preseason, I'm actually going to be sad. But anyway, mainly we're helping, oh yeah, okay, they are hitting Kale and Asol this patch. Oh shit, this is so loud. There we go. Fuck, it's like not even hearable now. Damn it. Oh god, it's like so loud, but so not loud. Okay, is that good? Yo, what the fuck? I raised it a tiny bit. I don't want to get fucking dinged by the bot, but... Anyway. So yeah, they are hitting Kale and Asol this patch. Good. So... let me see what they're saying. While helping them in their respective spaces that they're weakened and making them more difficult to be seen as viable or reliable picks. Which they're not. Aurelion Sol is not a viable or reliable pick unless you played 500 games on him, and Kale is none of those. None of those unless you know you'll feed in the early game, and then make it to late to even make up for it in the last 5 minutes of the game. What they just said makes no sense. But anyway. Okay, so Asol should be more comprehensible, and Kale should have more of a laning phase without feeling like a complete wet noodle. That, I agree with them on that. So, the new skins. Infernal Galio, which is in the back here, fucking looming over the other two. Infernal Shen and Infernal Varus. What do I think about these? Infernal Galio, I think Galio did need a skin. This is a good skin. Infernal Shen, I don't think Shen needed one, but it's nice. Varus definitely didn't need one, and it's pretty good too. The Elderwood skins, I think, are really fucking good. Okay, the common theme between the skins in this patch and the skins that are gonna come out next patch, which are Star Guardian skins, which are very different from the traditional Star Guardian skins. Are the common theme is both are controversial. This skin line, this Elderwood skin line, and the next Star Guardian skin line to come out have both been controversial. I'm on the side of I think both these skin lines are amazing. I think like this skin line that was introduced here with Nocturne, Ari, and Vagar is really good. And I think the new Star Guardian ones are extremely good. But we'll get to that. But yeah, Ari definitely did not need another skin. It's a decent skin though. Nocturne did. I'll admit it, Nocturne did, and this is I think his best skin. Fuck Eternum. Vagar, I actually really like the colors on the skin. They're very similar to his base, but that's fine. I like his base colors too. I think this is a good skin. I like this. Okay, here we go. The big dick changes. And I'm going to say, oh my god, I don't want this to be long because I'm really fucking tired. It's almost 1, and I have to wake up by 8. Anyway, Asol, passive damage decreased. So they just nerfed his passive. AP ratio is flat, so it doesn't scale as well. I think. Star is no longer disabled by CC. That's a buff. That's good. Q cooldown now scales. That's good. Movement speed is increased. That's really good. The Q got like Omega buffed. Star will keep up with Asol. Good. Because now it actually might need to. Before the Star, it would always go faster than you. Now you might go faster than the Star. W now expands stars and rotates at a decaying speed. So it'll rotate really fast at first and then slow down to normal. And then come back in. The cooldown is increased early, decreased late. It's not a toggle anymore, basically. Cost no longer increases over time. That's good. E passive movement speed removed. I think this is one of the biggest, if not greatest, changes to Asol they've made. Asol's whole dynamic relies around him pushing out his lane with his toggle W and then using the E and his Q to roam to other lanes and just win. And you can't do it because you can't push faster than him and you can't roam as fast as him. So them taking off the passive E cooldown has to either make him commit to something or just won't let him move as fast in general. So I actually really like this. We're making Asol more vulnerable to counterplay in the early game. He was already vulnerable. So that we have room to buff his scaling and presence in the late game. I don't agree. I don't know if his late game is better necessarily. He might be better at setup. I don't know if damage-wise he's better. His adjusted W should also help him make him a more approachable champion. I don't believe that at all. With clearer indicators of success and more satisfying in-game payoffs, no. What that means is we're giving you a way to know that there's only one way to know if you did good and multiple ways to know if you did wrong, which is stupid. So the passive, it's not too bad. It's not gutted. The ratio is pretty bad. Early it's good, but late it's bad. But they never go back in. But the problem is most of the time, you're not going to have them expanded anymore. So it doesn't matter that they go back in. Or that they don't, like, disable. It really doesn't. Unless you're right on top of someone. And even then, it's doing less damage. Here's the big change, the Q. The Q actually goes to 7 seconds, which is insane. The movement speed goes to 20, which is insane. And if he's faster than the Star will speed up to keep up with him, which is really good quality of life. Extremely good. He can actually do a lot of setups now with the Omega Star, the Lane Star, which I like. Anyway. Fuck, I lowered the music again. It's really too loud for me. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but oh well. So the W, the biggest controversial change that I personally don't like. When Asol pushes his stars out, they gain increased speed and rotate at a higher rate, but it decays. And after 3 seconds, or if he reactivates it, they'll retract. And grants him 40 movement speed when they retract, which is weird. I guess it helps you trade and then get out really quickly. But it's decaying, so it's kind of bad. So now the cooldown, instead of it being a toggle, and then once you untoggle it goes on cooldown, it just goes on cooldown like pretty quickly. The saving grace is that late game it's 2 seconds, so you'll be able to like bust this out pretty quickly. But the problem is, it does less damage than it did before. But I actually haven't seen, in all honesty, I haven't seen how fast the stars actually move. Like when you activate it. Or maybe I saw it and don't remember, because I saw it really quick. But if the stars move at a high enough speed, then the lost damage Doesn't even matter because he'll make it up pretty quickly. But I'm interested. Overall, this should help him with mana issues. He'll be using less mana, I believe, with this, unless he spams it. But same thing with the old one. If you held it, like, if you let it toggle, then you just run out. Anyway, I don't like this. I would have preferred if it stayed a toggle, honestly. So, and the passive, or the E in general, just got straight nerfed. The range got increased by a little bit. Who gives a shit? Oh, great, my fucking school's emailing me. Ew. The cooldown went way up, and I don't understand why. And the speed actually scales, but it doesn't matter. The E's trash. I think the E's trash now. It's only set up for ganks and maybe, like, the lane Omega Star, but that's it. I think they gutted the E, which, honestly, I'm fine with. That was, like, one of his main issues and what made him, like, OP in the hands of ASOL mains, in my opinion. So I would have been fine if they just did this, did everything else except the W. I would have been fine with that. Okay, Galio, one of the most useless, if not useless, champ in the game. I'm assuming to see Omega buffs. Mana regen is kind of buffed. Q cooldown is buffed early by 2, which is okay, I guess. His W is buffed. His W max damage is double. Oh my. Oh, so it's doubled. Okay. I mean, this really does nothing. It's not enough damage to warrant anything. You don't build damage on Galio anyway. All these changes do absolutely nothing. Galio's still trash. He's been underperforming the last few patches, so we're helping him out. Yeah, you're not helping him do shit. This is trash. Callista. Callista's another fucking one who's been trash. Buffing Callista in this specific way so she can succeed more in the hands of an average player. Let me see what they did. They straight buffed her AD, which isn't even relevant because she gains 90% of it anyway, so it's whatever. Which I don't understand why they did that. The mana went up. That's actually pretty relevant, and the mana growth went pretty up, actually, too. So she should have less mana problems. Okay, I actually do agree. This is making her better in the hands of an average player. So the player base that plays her, the good people, this does nothing. The average people who, I don't know why, but for some reason play Callista, will have an easier time with her, and the bad players are bad. Overall, this does nothing to really change what she is right now, which is sucky and unable to compete with all the other ADs, especially with that nerf they did a while ago to Epic Monsters, where it only does half now. Jesus Christ, they just keep slapping Callista on the face with a giant meaty cock. But yeah, Callista's still trash. Kale, okay, this is something I'm extremely excited for. Because currently, Kale's whole thematic is, okay, I'm going to become a late game scaling animal beast. But it's going to take literally the whole fucking game, and anyone can kill me in lane because I'm a minion. But you gain insane power late. Now, the problem with that is other people can do her job not as good, but quicker. So, late game Kale is like Omega Ultra Rapid Cerberus Man Beast. Like, it will rape, it will kill, it will besmirch, it will defile. The problem is it will only do that past 40 minutes. Other people might not carry as hard as her, but they can carry pretty fucking hard. My case in point is always Azir. Azir gets online faster than Kale, carries almost as hard as Kale, and does it so much earlier that he can win out games and be relevant to his team because he also has CC. And you can argue Kale has the ult, but even then, it's not that much. It's not as much as Azir can do. I think Azir is the better Kale just in terms of his functionality and the thematic. Because Azir's pretty shitty early, is pretty okay to good in the mid game, and is really good late game. Kale is pretty shitty early, pretty shitty mid, and very good late. So it's like a gigantic curve. It's like a mountain. So they're adjusting that now, and I'll go over that now. So passive bonuses adjusted for all 4 forms. I already know what they're doing. I read on this. I specifically kept up with this. Q now refunds mana, which is good. Cast delay, missile speed, and range decreased. Good. Kind of. Cast time updated. Okay. Enemy shred decreased. That's fine. No one cares about that. But duration increased. That's okay. E bonus damage decreased later. That's fine. Ratio increased. That's fine. On-hit ratio updated. Fine. R cost now scales. Fine. Radius increased. Cool. So, like they say here, we're shifting power into Kale's early game at the cost of some of her late game carry potential. Again, you could be Omega Cerberus Defile Besmirching Animal late game, or you could be Defiling Besmirching Cerberus, which it's still a hard carry. Not as hard, but at that point it was overkill. And because it was so overkill, they needed to gate it behind so much time. It was stupid. So now, here's what they're doing. First level order. Kale ascends to a risen form at 6 and a flame at 11. Now, what does that mean? That basically means at level 6, she gains range. She gains range, but not as much. I believe she gets... Yeah, it's mentioned down there, too. It's 525. But this is even remedied better. I think she's, in a way, better late game than before. But I'll get to that. So she gets the range at level 6. Not as much range as she used to have, which was 550. But 525 is pretty close. She gets that level 6, which tremendously helps her laning. And level 11, she gets the AoE, like, waves bullshit. Which, again, early you didn't need that. In the mid to late game, it's better to have that there. It's like baffling how much better she is because of a simple change that they just could have done in the beginning if they didn't have their heads up their fucking bum holes. But anyway. The movement speed she gets when she has full stacks is now 8% in all directions, which is good because if she's running away, she can run now a little faster. Now, she can stack it on anything she attacks, which is so fucking good. So good for pushing turrets. So good for, like, getting stacks off turrets to fight a jungler who's going to gank you or a laner who comes back. This change is amazing. Now, a risen attack range is 525, like I said. Now, Kale's bonus attack speed from her Zealous form no longer increases to 10%. So at all times in the game, it's going to stay, I believe, at 8% or 5% or some bullshit. Either way, again, she doesn't gain as much attack speed, but she was overkill with how much she had and the items she built. It's fine. It's fine not leveling it up to 10 per stack. It's cool. Fire waves no longer deal true damage. Again, that was overkill. That, I think, is a little, like, interesting to remove, but they're replacing it with something else. Now when you go to level 16, when you're Transcendent, you gain an additional 50 range to get to 575, which is, I think, better because Kale's main thing is survivability. She can kill pretty fast. She's like a different Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw does not need necessarily buffs to damage. He needs buffs to survivability. And that's essentially what they gave Kale. The fucking weird transforming Kog'Maw. But anyway, I really like this. I really like this whole thing. And I've said that enough, so let's go on. Q. It now refunds 50 mana for each champion hit with it. The cast delay is down. The attack speed, or the cast time is now 0.25, so it's streamlined. The missile speed went way down, kind of. It's slower. And the range is down by 50, which doesn't matter. And they took off 5%, which is a decent amount, but it lasts for 4 seconds, which is really good. Same way, the E, I believe they're nerfing that, right? Yeah, they're nerfing that. Plus 1% per 50. Okay, so now they're actually telling you to build AP. The more AP you build, the more you'll be able to kill or execute low health targets. Interesting. They're trying to change her build paths now. 0.1 per 2.5 ability power. Okay. She's probably still going to build the same shit. And then the cost late game is 0. That's actually crazy. And the AoE radius is 500, which is a little, tiny little buff. But anyway, yeah, I really like this Kale change. She's finally, hopefully, going to be playable early, and then I might play her. Cool. Leona. Just straight buffs again. Because Leona is still on the back burner. And like I keep saying, they're going to keep buffing tanks until it's tank meta again. Lucian. Base AD increased. Lucian is actually an interesting case. I think what they just did here is insane. Because Lucian is someone, and I actually agree with this change if I'm being honest. Lucian is kind of the weird, like, retarded child of ADs. He's really good early, which is something an AD shouldn't usually be unless you're Draven. And then he falls off late, which is the exact opposite of an AD, but he's fun as fuck. Now, recently I played Lucian, and Lucian felt kind of useless early. You couldn't get big enough early fast enough to really have an impact on anything. So they're furthering his early game base stats by putting his AD up to 64, which is, I think, pretty hefty. Because again, Lucian's an early game brawler, especially with his double hit passive. I think this is pretty good. You have to be very careful with Lucian, but you kind of don't in the same respect as, like, let's say this was Caitlyn. Because, like, Lucian will fall off late. This doesn't stop him falling off from late game. It just helps us early. Which I agree with, because Lucian is just meant to be at this point an early game AD. I don't agree with it, but it's what he is, so just keep improving on that. I think this is pretty good. Nico. Nico can now deactivate her passive without taking damage or casting another ability. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So she can just turn it off if she wants. Quality of life change. Pantheon. Okay, before I go to Pantheon, let me tell you what I think. I think Pantheon is useless. He's better than the old Pantheon because of the little quality of life. It's like, oh, now he can proc on hit on his W. I think the biggest change, honestly, fuck his ult. His ult does like wiener ass damage and it's basically the same. It just looks cooler. And you might give wiener damage to more people since it hits a wider area. I think the biggest change, honestly, was with his E, and now you could block damage. So now you could be more of a better tank late game and have really interesting and unfair trading options early with your E. I think the E is the biggest and most significant change. But other than that, I think Pantheon relatively stayed the same. He still pretty much shucks the early game, is decent mid game, and late game he's just there to like try and tank and maybe catch someone out if he can. But that's Pantheon. What are they saying? I think if they change him at all, they should buff him. So what are they doing? Q thrust now grant execute damage. Wow, the thrust didn't. You see, this was I don't understand. The throw of the spear did, but the thrust didn't. That makes no sense. And then E monster damage reduction removed. So they want him to go jungle too. Let me see. Jungle Pantheon is just not as strong as his other rules. Yep. Following up by entirely removing the monster damage penalty. Okay. So they want him to jungle. Which he pretty much is. And okay, so just like quality of life things. Dusting Pantheon's Spirit, releasing the ability within 0.35 seconds now also increases the physical damage on targets below 25 of their max health. Yeah, so it's just matching the Throne Spear, which I thought it already did, but apparently it didn't. So what does this change? Nothing. It literally changes nothing. Kiana. What do I think of Kiana? I think because she was used in LCS and because she's actually pretty fucking nutty, I think she's getting nerfed. And I'll be honest, a fed Kiana is one of the scariest things as an AD player I've seen in a while. She doesn't one-shot you per se, but her combo makes it look like, and for all intents and purposes, basically is a one-shot, because she kills you within like 0.5 seconds, which is insane. So Kiana's early trade damage makes her stronger than she should be. That coupled with her near constant ults later is a bit too overwhelming, so they're nerfing the ult. So base damage is going down by a good amount for the E. Well, not a good amount, a decent amount for the E. And the ulti cooldown is 120 at all ranks. Wow. Okay, I think after this, they should honestly leave Kiana alone, because I think Kiana is one of the champions that is pretty... Again, I haven't played her. I don't play anything besides AD. But I think she's one of the more mechanically and mentally challenging champions. So I think having a champion that, like, if you do good, can really, really do good is something we haven't seen in a long time with an assassin. Like, when I see Kiana, I run. When I see Zed and other people, I kind of get ballsy a little bit. But yeah, I really like that Kiana can do that. That, like, if she's good and if you know how to combo with her and shit, you could just, like, shuck people. I think this is enough of a nerf. Maybe shave off her damage a tiny bit more, but after that, leave her alone. I think she's really cool. And we need some champions like that. Ryze, I don't care until he gets reworked. Zyra. I think Zyra's kind of ass a little bit. She doesn't do as much poke damage as I remember, and I remember because they specifically nerfed her poke damage, and then no one used her except the people who mained her or were trolling or didn't know that she got nerfed. So I'm assuming C buffs. R cost flattened, cooldown decreased. Yeah, okay, so they're trying to give more relevance to the ult to empower the plants, not necessarily give power back to her early game laning phase, which I think is the problem. Her late game is decent. Her mid game is okay, but they're just trying to emphasize her the whole thematic with the ult buffing the plants, I guess, by having it be up more often, and its cost is actually a lot better than when it was late. Okay, that's fine. Free to play champs. Oh, actually, this is important. Let me talk about this. In 2017, players asked us to explain the weekly free champ pool because League was getting so big and you had so little champions to choose from. As a result, we updated our model to include 10% of the total number of available champions and increased the number up to 14 with Kiana. We're officially at 145, so they're increasing the number to 15 in the next free-to-play rotation. Good job, right? Implementing new player-friendly things, because this game is slowly losing traction, and we need fresh meat to fucking eat on the Summoner's Rift. Us pros. Us long-time old veterans. Bug fixes, I don't give a shit. Upcoming skins, I talked about those. Chromas look pretty nice as always. I'm never getting any of them. And probably when next patch comes out with those skins, I might talk about what I might do with my orbs, but I don't know yet. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to play games like I said before. I'm really tired. I'm just going to go fucking straight to bed and hit the ham. I'm so tired. I have so much work. Goodbye. Oh, wait. This patch, what does it get? Because of all these crazy changes, I'm actually going to give this patch a 7.5 Marc Merrills out of 10. Well, I don't necessarily like all of the ASOL changes. Generally, I think they're better for him. Kale is just infinitely better, I think. As always, all the other changes, I guess, didn't really fucking matter. And it's to be expected with the patches. But I really like the Kale and ASOL changes. So, 7.5 out of 10 Marc Merrills. I'm out of here.